Well, God bless you all. Thank you all so very much for joining us again here on another episode of The Connector. As I always say, I am always excited about our guests every single week on the show that grace us with our presence. Today, I'm super excited. We are going to Georgia again this week, and we are talking to a lovely lady. She's a wife, she's a mom, but can I just tell you all, she is truly gifted in the world of business. She is multi-talented, and so we're very happy to have her with us on the platform today. Would you all help me welcome Miss LaShonda Lamb to The Connector? Hello, Miss Lamb.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. I am good. Excited that we got you here. You know, we know you are a busy lady. So we're so thankful that you decided to bless us and bring Intellectual Designs story to the Connector. So just tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and we're going to go right into what Intellectual Designs is all about.
Oh, awesome. My name is, once again, LaShonda Lamb. I'm all the way from Bainbridge, Georgia, 836 East Water Street is where I was raised. Don't play. I'm just kidding. And I'm a wife. Me and my husband together. We have 10 kids. His 7, my 2, our 1, our 10.
Okay.
We do ministry. We sing prophetically. We have a CD. We're both authors. I love to cook. I love to eat. I love children. I love anything of color. I love people. I just love doing what God has called me to do. So that's me in a nutshell. I just like to have fun. I like to laugh. Me and my mom stay on the phone for hours, laughing. Me and my husband, we're always laughing. So that's just me in a nutshell.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. Wonderful. You said some great things there. Sounds like truly you are definitely, you all about ministry, right?
Yes.
In everyday life, we understand that this whole thing called ministry is a walk of life. It's not Sunday and Wednesday. So we incorporate that into our marketplace. So Intellectual Designs, you are the CEO, the founder of Intellectual Designs. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I have seen some of your things for the longest on social media, and you just continue to expand. I've seen flyers, I've seen graphic designs. Tell us what is all encompassed in Intellectual Design.
I would first like to explain to you where this came from. My husband was ordained in 2013 as the pastor. She was doing graphic designs for us. And when you first starting off in ministry, especially small, sometimes people come and they go. And when she left us graphic lists. And I kind of felt like she didn't want to share, how she made these wonderful graphics. So I went out on a journey to keep up the work that she had began to do for the ministry. I started off Microsoft Word, publisher, and then one day a photographer joined the ministry. And I was talking to her about all things media, and she suggested that I start using Adobe Photoshop. I knew nothing about it. I started doing Adobe Photoshop. I learned from YouTube how to do all of that stuff. I would see other people things, and I would print it and try to, work with the placement and everything like that. And I did that roughly from 2013 up into 2020. I kind of wanted our ministry to look compatible to what was going on social media. Everything is about, you know what I'm saying? Everything is about look. I didn't want my husband to look country. So I went on a mission to make sure that we exemplify excellency in ministry. So that's what I did from 2013 up into 2020. My birthday was June the 22nd. The day after my birthday, I was so excited. I was like, God, you let me live to be 41. So what I'm going to do to celebrate is take me a nap. I stretched out on my recliner.
I love it.
And I got a telephone call. I had been employed with this company for 13 years. I absolutely loved my job. But this particular day, he called me the day after my birthday at 6 something. And they don't normally call you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was just weird for me. And they fired me. They let me go after 13 years. And I was so upset. I went on the porch. And have you ever wanted to cry? Like I wanted to cry. Like I went on the porch and was like, I'm so sad, Lord. Come out. Tears come out. But I was so hurt. I was so broken. And I was just lost, like in the midst of Corona. Y'all fire me the day
Talk about it
while I'm trying to take a nap. Okay. So I went on the porch and I was pouting and I was having this conversation with the Lord, and the Lord told me, he said, use what's in your hands. I said,
oh my goodness.
I promise you, he said, use what's in your hands. And I said, okay, Lord, use what's in your hands. And that's what I start doing. My husband had already said, I was trying to come up with a name. He said, let's call it Intellectual Designs. Okay. And I put by LaShonda Lamb. And from that point forward, it's like he breathed on this ministry. I have always loved anything electronic, computer. Yeah, like in high school, I was really into computer classes. I just always been kind of techie. Okay. So when God gave me the okay, all my insecurities, because from 2013 up until 2020, I felt like what I was doing was not good enough. I was comparing what I was doing to what other people were producing. I'm looking at TD Jakes page. And I'm like, my stuff still don't look like
somebody needed to hear that nugget right there. Keep going.
Yeah. I was comparing myself, and I just didn't feel worthy enough. And I didn't feel like anybody other than my husband would want me to do anything for them. I was doing quotes for him. I was managing our social media. I was doing our flyers for church. And when God spoke to me and said, just use what's in your hands, I came back in the house. I took a shower and I said, okay, it's time for you to go get your big girl drawers. You can do this. You got this. We got this, girl. Use what's in your hand. Like, use what's in your hands, girl.
All right.
I said, I'm going to use what's in my hands. So I began to pray and ask God in which direction I should go. Yeah. I started amping up my social media, and I started to be my number one cheerleader. Okay. I began to promote, and I told my husband this. I said, if I don't push what I'm doing, ain't nobody going to push it for me.
That's it. I got to be
my number one cheerleader. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so ma'am. I began to, and I know it might have been like, whoa, where she come out of the blue? God gave me the okay to use what was in my hand. And so I had to use whatever avenue. I'm doing media. So I had to use social media to showcase what I'm doing. And I had to be confident enough to put it before people. And that's pretty much Intellectual Designs in a nutshell. God spoke to me, and I've just been running with it. I had to up my prices, because before, if somebody asked me to do something, you know, when you don't find value in what you're doing, you charge crumbs.
Woo! All right, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
good.
So I had to sit down, and the more work I was doing, the more experience I had with customers. I was, you got to go up on this. You got to go up on this, because it hobby to how I hobby. It's okay for you to give me the crumbs, but when this is how I eat, you're gonna have to pay me. And I even embraced that, because I didn't feel comfortable at the beginning with charging church people money to do, you know what I'm saying, do social media. But I had to get comfortable in my own skin. And I can say this business has really helped me to be more self-conscious, more self-confident in myself. All my insecurities, I'm laying them down. You
gotta do it. Just gotta do it.
Yeah, I'm just going forth with what's in my hands. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm just doing what God has given me, because for so long, from 2013, for 7 years, I mimicked other people's work. That's what I did. You know, I would look at a flyer or something, and I would try to, you know, mimic it. But after he gave me the okay, wherever the date land, I'm okay with it. Wherever I place the people, I'm okay with it. Wherever the words go, I'm okay with it, because this is my brand. And this is what he has given me. And I can't be anybody else. I had to learn how to be Intellectual Designs by LaShonda Lamb.
Ooh, that's good. Listen, you just dropped power nuggets to the people. Listen, you said a few things. So it really sounds like your story, you were kind of forced twice to be pushed into your purpose, right? You talked about what happened with the church, and you just kind of left, empty-handed here. They didn't want to, release the work or, teach you what it was that they knew, right?
Right.
Didn't, sleep on it completely, right? And then now you wake up and your job, is over. So you're one of those that we come across as well that's been pushed into purpose. Now, you said something. You said I wanted to cry, but but I couldn't cry, and oftentimes it's almost like we can feel some things when it's time to let go, when it's time to be launched into our own, but we never really step out, and then something happens drastically and we don't have a choice but to now move. That's why the tears couldn't come. Of course, you were disappointed probably because of the timing, and you didn't feel like, we didn't have everything planned. But this journey is called a faith walk, right? And I don't know why we try to separate that in the business world. But if you're ever going to be truly successful and at the level, right? It's a faith walk. I'm gonna have to go to a little church here just for a minute.
On.
But my pastor always said, you're to always continue to go to another level. You're never going to stay at the same level, right? So in other words, you're never going to stop growing. It's not for us to stop growing. People say, oh, I've reached my plateau, or, they tuck their collar and all, and I'm there. You don't want to say that, because you continue to grow, because the God that we serve, is everlasting. He continues to promote us, right? And you said something else that was very key. And I screamed this in my seminars. I screamed this in the business world, in the church sector. Use what is in your hand. Listen, if you had never gotten up and used what was in your hand, the things that you have now on your platform in your business would not have been able to provide, right?
That's true.
So he can't give us, God can't give us additional provision when we're not even using what's there. Taking the little amount that you may see there and to realize that this is big, this is enough for what God has called me to.
That's true.
So, I absolutely love your testimony into how Intellectual Designs became about. But there's something else, that you said. You said, I used to look at other people's flyers or whatever, and I would mimic them. I always use this analogy. There's a doctor, there's another doctor, there's another doctor. They're all doctors, but they specialize in various things. Even if it's general practice, there's still a niche that they have. And anytime we begin to size ourselves up to what somebody else is doing, we lose the vision that God has given us for your business. And so now the reason why you're able to go for this, you say, you know what, I got to do this. I have got to work at it. It doesn't come easy. You got to put the work in, and you put the work in. And the key is you were able to be honest with yourself to say, you know what? I'm mimicking somebody else. I'm not even being me in this vision that God has given me. So sometimes the truth of the matter is, if we want to be honest, we hold ourselves back, right? In the business that God has placed on the inside of us, because we're trying to be something else other than just being what God has called you to be. And you will flourish. Whatever is for you is for you. And so I've seen some of your work, and I know we're going to be able to showcase some of those things, here on the Connect. Your information is going to be on the screen there shortly. Listen, I've seen some of your graphic designs. I believe, are you even doing websites and things now as well?
Yes, ma'am. I do websites.
Talk to us about some of the detailed things that you do within Intellectual Design.
Okay, I make flyers. I make business cards. I work for a funeral home. I do obituaries. I do custom obituaries. So it's kind of like animated obituaries. Yeah. I do videos. I do voiceover videos. I do book mock-ups. I do websites. I do start up people Facebook. If you don't know how to start up your Facebook business page, I go in and I put all the information in. I create your custom banner, profile picture. I also do YouTube. I open up people YouTube. I fill out all the important details. I create their banners. I even upload one of my favorite videos that make sure they get a lot of views. I upload that video for them. I make them thumbnails for their videos.
Awesome.
I also do monthly inspirational quotes or business quotes for businesses. I schedule their posts. I have a 15-day packet and a 30-day packet. I do that. I manage different people Facebook ministry pages. I help them with the Instagram pages.
Oh, we need you here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I do all of that. I create content for them. I do animated flyers. I'm always trying to push myself. And what I have noticed is, like you were saying earlier, when I embraced who God has created me to be, and when I was okay with who God created me to be and what he placed in my hands, I don't even look at other people's things anymore. I don't. I mean, I guess too, because I did it for so long, I had to have an example. Now my eye is trained to it, so I can just do it free-handedly. I just love anything media. I'm also a mentor. I'm also a life coach. I also
multi-talented, I'm telling you.
Yes, in this, intellectual designs, I tell people it's not just you coming to make flyers. We become family. We become so connected that that we're intellectually yoked together.
Yeah.
Everybody that God has been placing. Let me tell you, can I tell you about a dream that God gave me?
Absolutely.
Concerning intellectual design about 3 weeks ago. We have a parsonage at the church, and on the weekends we stay there. So one morning I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. And then when I went back to sleep, he showed me a locker room was built onto the church. And in the locker room, women were coming and I was helping them give birth.
Wow.
And that's what I have been doing lately is people come to me with their vision and I'm able to breathe life on what it is that they're trying to say, what it is they're trying to do. And I have been pushing so many, it's countless women that God have used me to just push them into what God has called. I don't have to be the front line because Jesus is the front line. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But I'm going to be confident in what he has called me to do. And that's to push others and to lift people higher than myself, and I'm okay with it. I absolutely love it. I get so much pleasure and joy out of helping them birth their vision. God, in the less than a month, I have been honored to help 5 or 6, maybe 7 women birth out books.
Wow.
They'll call me for a flyer and the next thing you know, we're doing a book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So,
and speaking of book, you aren't you a new author? You just came out with a book, right? Talk to us about that. Listen, world, I told y'all this is a multi-talented woman. You need social media help. She's there. Now she's gotten a book. And can I tell you all a little hint? She sings too. But we're gonna talk about that later. So let's talk about the book. Tell us about the book.
Let me tell you about the book. I had been paying a ghostwriter for a year to write my first book. In January, it was the second week of January on a Monday. All of a sudden, the Holy Spirit just sat on my mind and my hands and said, get your Bible and start writing. And I started writing. And he told me to write about sex. I was like, this is my first book. So I wrote for 3 hours and I put it down. The next week, he told me to write again. I wrote for 2 hours and put it down. The title of the book is Rock Your Spouse World, 7 Days Out of the Month, A Wife's Guide to Bringing Excitement and Pleasure Back to the Marital Bed.
Wow.
That's what he gave me. And it's to help married couples. I'm all things married too. I love being married and we also do a lot of marriage counseling. Okay. And in that, this is what this book is for. It is to help bring spice back to the marital bed and to explain the importance of sex. It's not pornographic because it's all God in it. But it tells you how God and why God, designed sex for the husband and for the wife. And it gives us some 7 activities to help spice up your love life. So
wonderful. Wow. All right. That is awesome. Now, CD singing. You launched a CD recently.
Yes.
What is the name of that CD?
It's the Worship Experience by the Lambs.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I heard her sing on, I believe it was Facebook. This may have been, I don't know, a year or so ago. And I was like, wow, beautiful voice. It is amazing how you're just flowing through this, even though we're talking about the business world, but you are such a worshiper. You love the Lord.
I do.
You worship the Lord. And I tell you, it is really spewing out into everything that you've been putting your hands to in this hour. And so we are so amazed at what God is doing in your life. And you're right there in that vein. And we know that he's going to continue to do more with you. How can they reach you for intellectual design?
I like for my clients to reach me on Facebook, to send me a message in my inbox. Me and my husband, I know not too many married couples do this, but me and my husband, we share a Facebook page. Okay. And I kind of leave the message part for him, and the intellectual message box is where I like to communicate with my clients, or they can call me at 334-232-9231, 9281. Either way, they can contact me that way.
On the screen. Now, you said on Facebook. So what is your profile? What is your name on Facebook so they can look you up?
It's Willie LaShonda Lamb Jr.
Okay. That's LaShonda Lamb Jr. Okay. All right. Y'all got to make sure you all go and follow her today. She'll bless your life. I'm telling you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, we thank you so very much. Really, honestly, just taking out time to just come and sit on and connect with us and just share and break bread. Powerful testimony, powerful story. I always say, with the connector, we do move a little differently because we move according to God, right? And oftentimes people need to hear your story. They need to know what it takes, to do what it is that you're doing. Somebody may have a desire out there who wants to get into the graphic business. They need to know what kind of work is going to have to be put into it. But you said a lot of things on today. There's so many things encompassed in graphic design. And if the person is not a flyer person, but they are a person that knows how to get the social media and YouTube channels and all those things going, that could be their niche. So you encompass so much today when it comes to the world of media and technology and those things. So I am sure that the people of God are blessed, and the fact that not only you don't have to just stay boxed into that, but you're also now a writer, you're an author, and like I said, worshiping is just really who you are, and so now you're still, you're able to put that CD out there. But all of this just really encompass the number one thing you said that I want to be the takeaway for this evening, and that is use what is in your hand. Each week, God brings a guest on here. It is prophetic for that time. And I'm telling you, that message has just been going forth even this week in our ministries. I know my home church has been talking about it. I've been talking about it, for months. You got to use what's in your hand. And when you use what is in your hand, and don't be fearful, and go hard with everything that is in you. We call it, violent faith. In other words, it's taking your faith, by force and going forward. Then you will see the increase. This is how we go forward. So I just want to encourage somebody through your testimony on today, that even if you haven't started the business and you know that it is in you, it is time to come forth. It's time to come forth. And even if you've got the business, but you know that there is more, we pray that there'll be more grace upon you today, that you can get up, receive, from this testimony, and go and do what you need to do in your own right. Ms. Lamb, we certainly thank you for your time. Thank you for being a part of the Connector on today. And we wish you many blessings and continued success. Well, all right, you all, another episode of Connector. We thank God for what he is doing. Until next time, be blessed and be well. Have a good evening.